Hello, everyone. Hope you're having an electric day. On this week's episode of The Main Thing, I will be reviewing my article, How to Make Big Decisions. Let's get into it. In order to understand the origins of this article, we have to go back to my freshman year at University of Portland. As a freshman at UP and playing baseball, inevitably you go through a lot of learning and you go through a lot of adversity. And there was kind of three things that I was going through my freshman year. Two of them were injuries, and one of them was a burning desire to go pursue other things in life. The burning desire was I wanted to go travel. I wanted to go build a business. I wanted to go do a bunch of things that I knew were very rooted in who I was. And obviously, making the decision to step away from baseball after, playing baseball for all my life was a big one, and I needed a framework to address that. And it's kind of funny. I think books tend to find you at the right time, and this was definitely the case for me. I'm not even sure how I came to reading this book, but I eventually read The Crossroads of Should and Must by Elle Luna. In this book, Luna offers a piece of advice for making big, often life-altering decisions that may affect the trajectory of your life altogether. This suggestion was a writing exercise. And what that writing exercise entails is writing your life out in two obituaries. One having made the life-changing decision and one having not made the decision. What this exercise showed me was that I was waiting until my baseball career was over to go do all the things that I wanted to do. And that really resonated with me. I questioned why I should wait until my baseball career was over to go travel and go launch a business and go do all the things that I wanted to do. As the story goes, I ended up deciding to step away from my time at University of Portland and baseball altogether, and I launched a business during COVID. I've traveled the world before COVID shut down, and I've done all the things that I've wanted to do, and I haven't looked back ever since. So if you're looking to implement this protocol and do this exercise for yourself, I would suggest two things. The first is to be as clear and concise as possible when you're writing each obituary. And the reason for this is because you really want to get to know and illustrate the potential outcomes associated with each decision, having made the decision and having not made the decision. In my case, it became apparent that just while I was writing the article, I was leaning towards one over the other. And that was only able to happen because I was so clear. I think each obituary that I wrote ended up being 2 to 3 pages for the two that I wrote. And the second suggestion I have is to remove yourself briefly once you've finished writing the two obituaries from whatever you're doing, and go for a walk, go make a cup of coffee, just remove yourself briefly from that moment so that you can come back and read them with a fresh mind. And once you read them, you want to ask yourself, which one do I align more closely with? Was there one that challenged me more? Is there a potential outcome that I feel more drawn to? These are all questions that you want to ask yourself when you're reflecting on each obituary. And in my experience, having used this protocol, I've never not seen a desirable way forward. And I've never experienced any regret using or making the decisions associated with this protocol. So if you've enjoyed this episode of The Main Thing and you want to support the podcast, please consider subscribing on YouTube and signing up for my weekly newsletter on Medium. Keep crushing it, team. Cheers.